first log in, main thing you should complete is going to be under the account page. So if you click here, there's going to be your profile. And under your profile, you're going to have your information first. So you need to verify your phone number, put your address, so on and so forth. And then after you go into your personal details, you'll have the ability to put in your social and your date of birth. The reason it's important to fill this out first is that it will automatically pull this information into the questionnaire. Putting in your information here, you won't have to enter it again. If you have a business, you should add the business here, which will ask you these detailed questions. Once you've answered those questions, it will pop up the business here with the information in it. This is the account page. This is the most important page to fill out. On the left, you have the main menu. You have tax. This is where you would complete a new questionnaire. You have documents, where you would upload documents. You have tasks, where you can potentially have assignments tracked that we're doing. This is a message center where you can keep in touch with your accountant. Lastly, this is where we will have the services that you're signed up for or request. The document section, you can add new, but to create a folder. Within that folder, you're also able to add new. Select here, you select an actual document. You'd be able to upload it here. This tax section will show the questionnaires that you're working on or completed or already submitted. They're in draft mode. It'll probably be blank at the beginning for the new person. Hit on new questionnaire. They have the ability to indicate if it's for a business, if it's for a personal or business. Pick your industry from the list. Your tax request type is either going to be for the taxpayer or independent. If you're married filing jointly, this is where you want to put it all information. However, if you're doing a return for someone else, you have a wife that's married filing separately, then she would be filling out this as well. Also, if you have a dependent that you might be claiming, or that dependent made more income than $5,000, so they have to file their own return, and technically you would be filling this out as well. From here, you can select the spouse or the wife or the dependent based on information already entered in this section. Now let's go ahead and do the primary taxpayer. We're going to hit to analyze the situation. First thing you're going to do is select the year. The selected year, U.S. citizen or green card holder. Did you live outside the U.S. during the calendar year? We're going to say no. Depending on if you say yes or no for a section, it will give you access to different parts of the questionnaire. If you answer no to everything, in theory, it will give you a very short questionnaire because these things are not applicable to you. If you, for example, fill out a section of financial accounts outside the US, in the portal, they'll ask you more details about that. If you say no for this section, it won't ask you anything else about financial accounts outside the US to make sure that anything that is relevant to you is actually going to be on the next page. Now we're inside the questionnaire. The questionnaire has these tabs at the top: the personal detail tab, income, tax deductions, non-US financial accounts, the notes section, the summary information. Those are the different sections that we have at the top. Personal details section is automatically pulled in from the account page. You would just go through this column and answer all of these questions in here. However, if you don't have this information right away, you can skip this and just go to the next section and answer this information here. If you answer all this information here, you should be able to press next, and it just takes you down to the next section. I can press the next button. You also have the same for the income section. They're going to ask you about W-2 income inside the US, income outside the US, passive income, self-employment income. This section is normally where you have a Schedule C or a single member business being taxed as a corporation. You would put in information here if it owns by taxpayer or the spouse, and enter this information related to it as well. The tax deduction section. As you can tell, you would go through these different sections and answer these questions. Non-US account section, again, the notes and the summary. Questions you answered to get the organizer going. So you can edit this information if you need to. Save changes. So depending on how you edit the summary, it'll give you access to different sections within this questionnaire. So for this questionnaire, when it's done, I can go ahead at the bottom, click I confirm that this information up above is right. And then I'm going to submit it. I'm going to save the draft. I'm going to submit the questionnaire. So once I submit the questionnaire, it should go to the next step of having the internal team review it and start working on it. So that's it for the walkthrough. But once you submit this questionnaire, we will then start working on it for you.